Well, this somewhat took the community by storm. Like literally everyone was talking about Yamato. Everyone wanted to know who Yamato is, where he came from, what was he doing, what was the purpose of what he was doing, why did he betray his dad, how was he able to knock Ulti out in one blow, and thus, ladies and gentlemen, this leads to, yeah, you absolutely guessed it. How strong is Yamato? Listen, how strong? Anything that follows that normally ends with a toxic debate, because how strong in One Piece, it just, oh, guys, it's really hard to say. However, in this case, it's really hard to say from my perspective, or based on the comments, that's what I think. So the chapter comes out, right? And for me, I read a chapter a few times. I do the live reaction on my other channel. I read a chapter, I talk for a bit, we have a discussion maybe. Then after, before I make a review, I read a chapter like 3 more times, then I go in, right? That's when I start recording my video for the chapter. Cool. So last chapter, in the midst of doing that, I was like, okay, I'm really not sure how strong this Yamato guy is, right? Like, I know he's really strong, but guys, like, let's say for instance, Yamato is as strong as who's who, right? Who we feel like he's towards the top of the upper echelon of the Flying Six. Let's say he's around there. It's still impressive because he's going to be on the other side, obviously. But guys, I don't know why I felt like I was so off. The comments made me feel stupid. Like, the comments made me feel like I was just so dead wrong. And tell you guys what I said. I basically said, well, you know, guys, I'm kind of comfortable just putting him around the Flying Six. Like, he's around there, maybe towards who's who, probably in the middle. He's around Sasuke, X Drake. He's around there. People were like, huh? Flying Six, huh? Guy, my guy, Braco. Yamato is a son of a Yonko. Okay, guys. All right. We've seen children of Yonko before. Katakuri is a kid of a Yonko. Oven is a kid of a Yonko. Fuck it. Smoothie is a kid of a Yonko. And we see where that went. What I'm saying here is just being the kid of a Yonko is not enough to qualify you, or just to say, oh, that person can fight a commander or beat a commander. I don't think that's enough. But do we have some context clues to kind of guess and gauge how strong Yamato is? I think so. Initially, I said he's probably around the Flying Six. And we're going to go through just exactly what happened and why I think Yamato is probably around the Flying Six towards the top. And guys, I want to make it clear, with the Flying Six and the Commanders, there could be overlap. The Flying Six and the Commanders could create like a Venn diagram. I believe that's what it's called, right? Where it's like 2 circles, right? And in the middle of that circle is someone that's in the middle. They're a part of the Flying Six, but they could be on the strength of the Commanders. And I think those people are Who's Who and X Drake. Sasuke, maybe, and I'm placing Yamato in that middle ground, right? Where he could be as strong as Jack, or he could be as strong as Who's Who. Like, he's right around there. People were saying that they believe Yamato can possibly compete with King. Whoa, I think that's a bit excessive. I'm not ready to jump and put Yamato there just off of what he did, because what he did was impressive, ? And I'm not trying to downplay what he did, because it was cool. It was something that I was like, oh, wow, like that, a Zoan, 1 hit? Wow. But something to keep in mind. Yes, Ulti was fighting Luffy, and Ulti somehow, after grabbing Luffy was like, oh, Gear 4th guy, I need you. That's what happened. But I think it's a lot more that went on there. First off, Luffy was not just fighting Ulti, he's fighting Page 1 as well. Secondly, Luffy did say Gear 4, like he was about to use it and he needed it. But me, personally, I think if Luffy went Gear 4th, it's over. Like, the fight is not going much longer than that, right? Gear 4th is effectively ending Ulti. Like, that ultimate battle will be over. And another thing, Ulti, right, after she transformed from a hybrid form and she went to her full Zoan form to hold down Luffy to go in for the Ulti Meteor, which I desperately wanted to see. I'm kind of sad about that because I know it would look so sexy. Then happened because Yamato comes in with a Thunder Bagua, and that completely annihilates Ulti. Now, in this instance, Ulti's hands are literally occupied. She is not paying attention to Yamato. Observation haki, bro. She just sucks at it. She was able to sense that Luffy was really strong. She was able to sense his haki still. I don't think her observation haki is bad. I think this goes back more to narrative, where if Ulti had sensed it, we wouldn't have gotten the moment that we got. So it's like, it's one of those where it's like narrative, observation. I'm leaning towards narrative here, guys. So in that case, he literally clobbered her with her not paying attention, no use of her arms, and that was that. Eyes rolled, they went white, and she is out. Now, while that is quote unquote impressive because she's a Zoan, and Zoans are more durable, they have crazy endurance, they last longer, Zoans are starting to sound like condoms. All right, but she was off guard. We've seen this before for characters, right? When they're caught off guard, crazy things can happen. For instance, Luffy, earlier in the arc, when he was fighting Apu caught him and Zoro off guard, more so Luffy. Luffy got hit multiple times from this, and Luffy's eyes rolled back. Luffy was out for a while, right? Because he was off guard, he wasn't sure what was happening, he was out. So for someone like Yamato, I'm assuming again, he's around the strength of Ulti, probably stronger, more than likely stronger than Ulti, comes in with, I'm not sure if it's his strongest attack. I'm not gonna say Thunder Bagua is the strongest attack, but that's the attack we saw a Yonko use, right? And quickly, I mentioned this in a video in regards to Yonko kids and the hype around Yonko children. I'd said, well, people did not give Katakuri the same credit being the son of Big Mom as people are giving Yamato, who's the son of Kaido, where people are automatically placing him on right-hand commander level just because he's the son of Kaido. Now, granted, Katakuri is a right-hand commander anyway, but of course he has many siblings who are the kids of Big Mom. But to shoot those people some bail, I'll say this. If Katakuri had used an attack like Elbaf's Spear with similar destructive capabilities, right, where he did something to the level of Big Mom, maybe not exactly to that level, but using a technique directly learned from Big Mom, or a technique that we see Big Mom use, I think there would be more hype placed on Katakuri, because clearly Big Mom has chosen her successor. That would be Katakuri. In this instance, Katakuri has his own fighting style. He has a low gear Devil Fruit. Nope. A special Paramecia Devil Fruit. I'm sorry, guys. That's what Oda corrected it to be, a special Paramecia. And he fights an entirely different way. Now, Yamato. He used an attack that we saw Kaido use on Luffy and completely obliterate him, knock him out in one blow. He did the same thing to a Flying Six member who Kaido, or I guess King, felt they were strong enough individually because they weren't going to work together outside of Ulti and Page 1, which could lead to some more speculation, and they felt like they could capture Yamato. Now, Black Maria did say, hey, this is going to be a formidable task. Listen, this is just an argument here. It was so formidable that Black Maria said, you know what, I'd rather lay up with Kaido and snuggle up next to him than to go capture his beast of a son in Yamato. But again, they would not send the Flying Six or members of the Flying Six after Yamato if we felt like Yamato was as strong as King or even stronger, right? Because if we're saying that, if we're saying Yamato is probably strong as Queen, strong as King, that means that who's who strong as King or strong as Queen? Are you guys ready to have that conversation that the Flying Six could probably tangle with the commanders and beat them? I mean, of course, that's the entire situation going on with who's who and Queen right now, but I don't think most people feel like who's who can beat Queen at this point. But if Yamato is that strong, then I would assume, especially since it's a competition, that the Flying Six is at least as strong as Yamato, or they're aware of a way to bring him in. They know the formula, they have brought him in before. So I guess that's my logic. Like, you wouldn't send someone weaker than this character to capture him if you felt like he was that much stronger, right? If you felt like he was a right-hand commander and beyond, sending Page 1 or Ulti, it's just, it doesn't make sense to me. The conversation I mentioned about Page 1 and Ulti, I'm like, are they a tandem? Does Ulti and Page 1, those two combined are like who's who, Sasuke and X-Drake towards the upper echelon because they work as a tandem? That seems like overkill a bit, especially how impressive Page 1 was against Sanji in his raid suit. But back to Yamato. Another reason for my thinking that Yamato is not past the commanders is just how you view X factors in like the Yonko's crews. I think the best example of an X factor is in Big Mom's crew, in which Big Mom, she has a commander system, right? With Katakuri, Smoothie, Cracker, and also Snack, who's been demoted. Outside of them, she has the Mondors, the Ovens, the Daifukus, the Tamagos. But even outside of them, someone independent from the hierarchy, where we're not sure exactly where he falls, and that's a great transition because that's something I want to talk about as well. Perospero and his strength. And one could argue, outside of Katakuri, he's the most competent Big Mom pirate, trying to read the situation from trying just not to die, trying to manipulate Big Mom so that he can survive, trying to manipulate the situation to save Whole Cake Island. Perospero has always been that guy, from low diffing Brook and Chopper to basically forcing Pedro to commit seppuku. Perospero is a very formidable opponent. People do mention, well, why didn't Perospero do something against King when he kicked the ship? Well, something that was clear, to me at least, is that Perospero's candy is very susceptible to fire, right? We saw with Sanji, he melted the candy. When Luffy did a Red Hawk, he went right to the candy. So I think in this case, Perospero was like, yeah, there's not much I can do against this Diablo Jambi that King is coming in with. But again, he's a great example of an X factor, of a kid, of a Yonko, who's really strong. Yamato's probably the eldest son as well, but he's not quite Katakuri, and maybe he's not even quite Smoothie. And you know what? I don't even want to include Smoothie anymore. It's hard to scale her. The only reason why Smoothie makes it to some of the top 30 lists that we do from time to time is because she is a commander. and you give the respect to the commanders based off of their rank. And for a lot of us, we feel like the role of the commanders to at least hold off admiral level characters and to protect their captain. So that's why Smoothie gets as much respect as she gets, even though she hasn't done much of anything. I would say Perospero and Cracker, that would be a great fight, right? That's a great fight, a great matchup. They're both really good with their devil fruits, but he's around there to me. And that's the same how I view Yamato. Again, he could be around the who's who or could be around the Jack. I don't think he's touching King, and he's more than likely losing to Queen. That's how I view Yamato, but I'm not sure why people feel differently. The other Yonko crews have X factors as well, but they're different because there are things that we view that could tip the scales in their favor if it was ever a high diff fight or an all-out fight versus another Yonko. For instance, for Shanks, a lot of people view his X factor as Mihawk. Like if Mihawk were to join the Red Hair Pirates, I think that would be overkill based on how strong people think Mihawk is, but he's an X factor that people have there for Shanks. For the Whitebeard Pirates is weird because for Whitebeard, if he had retained everyone, let's exclude Blackbeard for now, right? With Odin, with Marco, with Ace, Vista, Jozu, and even Thatch, right? And if you want to throw Blackbeard in there, you can. That's a formidable crew. That crew is defeating any other pirate crew ever. And that's on period. Bro, what about Rocks? Damn, you may have got me there. Except Rocks. But yeah, guys, that's my thoughts on Yamato. I don't know why people are ready to just throw him into the right-hand commander scale or just around that level. It's odd to me. I'm not sure. I guess people were really impressed off of what he did. I mean, it was a fantastic chapter, so maybe that, swayed a lot of people's hearts. But I'm not ready to do that just yet. Give it some time. Maybe after the next chapter, maybe he says something like, oh, I was the one who defeated King when he first joined the group. There's something weird like that, even though he should be a kid. But we got to see exactly how it plays out. But guys, give me your thoughts. How strong do you think Yamato is? Like, what do you think about him? Give me your thoughts. Just feed me, right? Let me know how you feel. Like the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Follow me on Twitter at BrogODAce. Follow me on Instagram as well at brogod.ace. Thank you to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. You guys definitely help out the channel. And if anyone wants to become a patron, the link is in the description box down below. So yeah, like and subscribe, turn on post notifications so you can see anytime I upload. Thank you guys so much. I shall catch you in the next one. Peace.